Hope I'm not late.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Great. So, how many panel members are there today?
Sir,
Six
including you,
panel
there are
members are
six.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, there are six panel members today, including you.
Including me. Okay. So, okay, let's wait for them to arrive. All right.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. I'll switch
Including
off my
you,
Panel
there
camera and
are
members
mic
are
for
six
there.
now.
panel members.
Sure,
Sure,
sir.
sir.
Mm-hmm.
Vanshika ma'am has also joined us. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone.
Akshit
I'm
sir is
audible,
also
right?
here. Yes, ma'am, you are.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Himanshu Kapoor, and a very warm welcome from on the behalf of SAS organizing team.
Good evening,
We are
everyone.
delighted to have all of you. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I am Pranav Sharma from SAS 2.0 organizing team.
We are delighted to have a discussion.
We sincerely thank our esteemed panelists for taking time out of their busy schedule to join us for this conversation. Your presence and experience add immense values to this discussion. The topic for today's panel is what makes a problem and a solution serious in engineering.
2.0 is built on the idea that algorithm thinking and real-world development are not separate paths but deeply connected. Through this path, we that exists living.
I guess there is some kind of issue on Himanshu's part. So, SS 2.0 is built on the idea that algorithmic thinking and real world project development are not separate paths, but deeply connected. Through this panel discussion, we aim to address a critical gap that exists today between student built solution and real engineering expectations across industry and broader ecosystem. Today's discussion will explore how real engineering problems are identified, what differentiates a technically serious solution from a superficial one, the role of problem clarity, real world constraints, algorithmic reasoning, and system design, common gaps observed in student projects and hackathons, and what evaluators generally look for beyond demos and presentation. We
We now
now
move to
move
introduce we now move to introducing our distinct panel members who bring diverse uh, brings diverse perspective from industry, development ecosystem, eh, infrastructure, AI, education, and product engineering.
Firstly, we warmly welcome Akshat Batra sir, senior consultant developer at ThoughtWorks with experience in building scalable systems, software architecture, and real-world engineering practices.
Next, we welcome Arpan Garg sir, founder at Communal and a long-time contributor to developer communities and engineering ecosystems, working
We are,
closely with how real projects emerge at scale.
we are also pleased to have Shrup Khandelwal sir, who will be joining us shortly, a software engineer at Visa Technologies, specializing in data engineering, analytics, and building technically grounded, insight-driven solutions.
Joining us next is Vanshika Jain Ma'am, software engineer and AI practitioner at Skillbrew AI, with experience across cloud native system, DevOps, and applied AI-driven solutions.
We are honored to welcome Aditya Tandon sir, Senior Assistant Professor at ABS Engineering College, educator, researcher, and founder of C4 Yourself, actively working at the intersection of engineering and education, systems, thinking, and real-world problem solving.
And finally, we welcome Naman Kale software engineer at Brewdite and a Docker captain, bringing strong expertise in cloud native infrastructure, automation, and scalable system design.
To guide today's discussion, we are privileged to have Kumar Shashwat sir as our moderator for this session. Shashwat sir will be steering this conversation, facilitating dialogue between our panelists and ensuring that we extract meaningful insights for our audience. Once again, we sincerely thank all our panel members for joining us today and contributing their valuable time and experience. With this, we now formally hand over this session to our moderator. Over to you, Shashwat sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sashwat, and so we are here to we are here to discuss about the gaps between the problems that we solve and the real world problems that we face. So
May I
So
please
before we'll
request
get
all the
started,
panel members and Shashwat sir to please on the videos once.
Parshvi and Pranav and Himanshu, if I may say something before we start.
Sure, sir,
Yes, sir.
we'd be very honored to hear you before.
Just wanted to bring up our fellow panelists from attendees to presenters. That would be appreciated. They are in the attendee section. If you see on your end, in the people section, they must come up towards presenters.
Yes, sir, we are working on that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Sir, everyone has been made an organizer.
Shashwat sir, are you there?
I guess there is some network issue at his end, but then let us start. He's actually joining again for that. We are sorry for the inconvenience. He'll be joining us back in a minute.
Sir, may I ask, in your experience, what is the earliest signal that a problem is worth serious engineering effort and not just a good-looking idea?
Could you please repeat that?
Yes, sir. In your experience, what is the earliest signal that a problem is worth serious engineering effort and not just a good-looking idea?
The first thing in a problem statement, especially, uh, pardon me. Yeah. The first thing I look for in a problem statement that would be related to the domain area. What kind of domain it covers, and what in the industry or ministry that the problem statement has come from.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful advice. Uh, how do real engineering problems usually surface in practice from users, systems, breaking, scale issues, or business constraints? Any of the panel members, if someone would take this question.
I hope you
Sorry.
guys can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, according to me, like from what I have seen up till now, like the real engineering solutions are built around the problem, not just around the tech words. Like if like anything which comes with the constraints, like what is the user base, like what we are building for, and what if like something breaks, how we are going to recover this. So these constraints, when we try to build any system around these questions and constraints, any problem or any system becomes a system actually, and not just a demo project which we are going to like present in a hackathon. So when we are attaching everything or attaching these constraints with the problem, that is a real engineering solution.
Thank you, sir. Arpan, sir, we would like to know how important is problem clarity before choosing algorithms or architectures, and what usually goes wrong when teams skip this step. Since you are an ecosystem builder, we would like to know, on the basis of your observation in different hackathons and events, that when the participants actually skip about understanding the problem, what are the various issues they face at the end?
Okay, is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. First of all, very grateful to be here, and thank you to the whole team for coordinating and letting me be a part of this. Excited to see so many participants on a Sunday evening. That shows how important hackathons are and how excited is everyone to build new things. So a lot of times, what happens is um, we are too excited to build, and we forget learning more about what we want to build or who will be using what we are going to build. I think for every hackathon, that part probably could be kept as a part of the problem exploring session in terms of not just building the PPT, but for understanding from the perspective of the person who is facing that problem. I'll give you an example. So I've been into Smart India Hackathon 4 times. Fortunately, been a mentor of the winning teams all the 4 times. And, 2 out of those 4 times, what happened was our solution was discarded on the day when we reached the venue by our mentor or the person who was in that domain. And specifically, I'll give you the second option. In fact, the first one. So this was an application that we were going to develop. It was called as Shikshak Arohan. So what happens in rural areas is there is very uh, common practice that neither the students nor the teachers go to the school, but attendance gets marked automatically. So what the government wanted was to be able to track key teacher is going to the school or not, and whether students are filling the classes or not. So we were very excited. We thought, okay, let's create a portal wherein everyone will be checking in through a mobile phone, and teachers will be checking in whether the students are there or not, so on and so forth. So majorly, initially, it was all about teacher tracking, that if the teacher is going to be doing their duty first, completely fine, then the students will also be filling the classes. Um, we were told that, there is no internet in rural areas. And our argument was, Kiar, how is India smart? It is a smart India hackathon. How can you say that there will be no internet? But then their simple, plain explanation was, this is the actual scenario. To solve this problem, you have to work with what is the current availability of things. And eventually, we ended up building an IoT device, which we demoed using an Android phone, which needed mobile connection of 2G, even for 1 minute a day. And if someone tries to break it, it takes a picture and it logs it and everything. So basically, we had to do with what is the actual livable condition in that scene. Next one also, similar thing happened. The person who was an IPS came in, and his clear words were, आपका solution बकवास है, आपने कुछ भी research नहीं करी है, you don't know how these crime reporting things happen. And that is where we started. He was like, throw away everything. I'm going to disqualify you. Then we requested him to sit down with us and understand ki, how does he do things? Where does he see faults in our solution? And what part of it might be right? So it is both the ways. A lot of times, judges are also overlooking things. They have certain notions about it. But most of the times it happens is, if there is a problem statement, you will see everyone solving it from the same point of view. Probably starting your presentation or solution display or demo with, we talk to these many people. We saw that this happens this ways in real world, and we talk to people who are actually facing this problem instead of Google research says this. That is very important, but जो use करने वाला है उससे बात करना is very much needed. Yeah, mostly that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the
I
wonderful
would like to
insight on
add
this. And yes, sir,
uh,
as sir shared about perspective, brilliant
mm,
educators like you also tell us students about this many a times, but we overlook it.
yeah,
How
I
can
would
this
like to add
important step of
what
understanding the
Arpan said.
problem? Yes, please
Yes,
continue.
Aditya sir, please.
Want your insight on these.
Okay, so similar thing happened actually that many of the problem statements that we see today are that we always like in investigations assumption skill. All right, and similarly in engineering, the real engineering will fail if we assume that everything is there for us to just pounce upon and then use those facilities. So an engineering student must understand that he or she may most of these engineering students are coming from tier 1 cities, those who are participating in hackathon, and those hackathons which are there in the southern part of India, the crowd there, the participants are from tier 3, tier 2, even tier 4 cities in small towns as well. So those students have actual idea of what the situation actually is on the ground. So they are more clear with the problems than the ones from the tier 1 cities. So that's there.
Thank you, sir. On the same flow, by the way, Ashutosh here. Uh, so on the same flow, I would like to request Akshit sir to, provide some pointers on the same flow which Aditya sir has taken out after Arpan sir. Akshit sir.
Yeah, I've not been judged for a lot of hackathons. So I have hosted the earlier hackathon pre AI Gen AI thing. So seeing like people have one solution and they just try to map it to every hackathon. So they
Mhm,
just build something very basic in first hackathon and just take that same solution to every hackathon. And
mhm,
that gives them additional advantage of okay, every mentor gives some new pointers, they implement that and just present that and they just generally win. Right.
mhm,
A lot of people just reuse their solutions, but I think after AI has been there, right? So now people just go and do vibe coding, do
mhm,
not understand a lot of what's the best thing.
mhm,
I was recently mentoring for this one code for GovTech. So so there was this Rohtak, whole government department. They wanted some very basic solution of like some taxonomy of roads, and then they had a very limited tech insights, but they had what they want, a very basic UI. They don't need a very fancy UI, but they want very basic solution. And then the students are there's only one contributor who has to build it. We didn't do first research at the very beginning, but after then he has to probe a lot of theirs, talk to the user of the app, and then get a lot of insights. Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah.
So, so continuing with the same flow, like what we, if you want to conclude it out, so what would you say the vibe coding part, the DSA part, and the project part with respect to SAH, the ideology behind this hackathon? If you want to conclude it out, so what would you say with respect to this?
I think people do not like the. I think why should I conclude this?
As in,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. Anything you can say it. We will just take it up from there, and we will move with Naman sir then. Naman sir, are you
Yeah.
fine with the next flow from here?
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to basically conclude all the things like which Akshat sir told, like around vibe coding and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The thing which I mentioned earlier was to keep the clarity around the problem, like what you are actually building, not just
Mm-hmm.
the buzzwords. Like I know, like ML attaching these buzzwords around the topic, like
Yeah.
ML, blockchain, AI, all these
Mm-hmm.
things. If I'll attach to my project, like it'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely give me a better edge. But as I've told you, like you need to work around the actual constraints, like what this project actually needs this or not. When we think about with the constraints, we look for actual solution, not just like a 5-minute demo like which I'll be presenting with the PPTs. So that kind of solution has a foreground like which can stand in real environments as well. When they like get that clarity, basically the students, when they get that clarity, because like when you walk out into the real environment, things are totally different. It's not just a 1 day PPT or 2 day hackathon where we just need to flourish everything with the UI. And
Mm-hmm.
the main thing which I wanted to like also say is like students often go for UI heavy things. Like it should like look very pretty when I'm presenting everything.
Mm-hmm.
It should not be like that. Obviously, like there are a few things which can be attached with the UI, but does your solution which you are providing need this thing or not? So when
Exactly.
when we start thinking with that mindset, it provides a better solution, and also it definitely will give you a better edge. Like if I'll say, like if I'm trying to build a normal CRUD application which just does an update to the databases, and I have the clarity around like how will it scale, will it perform in heavy load, and when I have that kind of system design heavy thing, I will say it will definitely give me a better edge over a ML heavy model related thing.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Completely agree. Completely agree on with the Naman thing.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
Naman has concluded on this one.
Sure, ma'am.
The if student does not have the clarity about how to scale the things out, definitely as a fresher you don't have the clarity of how to make the things scalable, and how make it a real world. Then think about only of the core idea. Is it solving a problem or not? Analyze your environment. You can pick from your environment as well, that this problem is creating this issue in my environment. I can solve this with this tech stack or not, with this solution or not. And if you able to make other people understand why this solution you have been picked, why you have the confidence on this solution, that makes other person also, that is the solution will be helpful for others as well or not. It can be possible that in a one time you are not able to make other one confident, but after 2-3 times of analysis, 2-3 times of ideas, you will be get like this thing is wrong. Okay, now I need to pick the next thing. This can be true. Try hit and trial, right? You
Try
can
and
be
yeah,
not
trial and
correct.
error.
Yeah,
Hmm.
can one thing at a one time cannot be correct, but these experiences of getting failure and getting rejected also give you the next point of view what needs to be done now.
So,
So
ma'am,
yeah.
sorry to cut you in though. Your pointers
Mhm.
were correct and in line with Naman sir. I want to, ask you one more thing with respect to the UI point Naman sir made, right? And with respect to the UI and the presentation of the idea, let's assume whatever the idea is there, whatever the problem statement is there, the student should understand, hit and trial, and then cope up with the format. Okay, whatever there is with the hackathon. But when we are saying about the UI or the presentation part, what do you think the student should majorly focus on, the presentation or the UI or whatever it is presenting to the panel or to the judges, which makes the difference to mem- uh, problem to problem or member to member?
So let's start from the first thing on this question. Firstly, you should know whatever project you are going to decide it for your hackathon, what is the best feature that can attract to your mentor, or that can be, this is your analysis power and this is your research, what one thing that you can build in that limited time period and can attract someone else as well, and then analyze this future needs that UI or not. If you feel this future requires a UI, then build it. Otherwise, just avoid that one. Just make your presentation and make your thing. Uh, put your efforts at least on that thing that make you can make that people understand the solution. Why you have picked out of your solution, why you have put this feature to build first. So go with that thing. You also need to limit your time period as well. Like you need to wisely decide in this time period this feature can be made, and this feature should be also attracted by to mentors as well. Like recently in my company, we are analyzing, we are having an internal hackathon where we have the 1 day full hackathon, and we need to build something that can be tech savvy as well, solving a current product that we are building. It should be an add-on on that thing, and that should be in a limited time period, can be built in a limited time period as well. So pick that thing that is a requirement, but it can be easy to build in your limited time because you have to fulfill. Other, if you pick the difficult thing and it is not able to build in limited time period, that can be an issue as well for you. So you need to be wise at that time.
Sure. Yeah, great point for the time period pointer. I guess Aditya sir want to say something. Is it?
Yeah. A brilliant point made by Naman sir and Vanshika ma'am. Both of them, they made the main thing that what Vanshika ma'am mentioned. Pick that thing which is actually beneficial for your project because it's your thing. So let me clarify one thing. Hackathon comes from the word hack in a kind of a marathon way. So what's a hack? Like you use a toothbrush to brush your teeth, right? But if I want to use my old toothbrush for something else, that will be again classified as under a hack. I've hacked my toothbrush to for use of something else, a different use case. Just like using your problem solving mindset, it's not about your engineering aptitude. It's not about the learning your ML, your techniques, your things, your algorithms, nothing. Your focus should be to solve a problem. And I would like to add as well what Vanshika ma'am mentioned. You do not try to impress your mentor or the panelist or the people who are there to judge you, the judges as well. You just think that I am building a solution to the affected party, to the stakeholder, the end user who will be using my product. Every problem statement is a potential startup. And for a potential startup or potential ideation, you need a market survey. And for that market survey, if you properly go through that this problem is there or not, or how severe is the problem, how deep is the roots, and by going to the roots, can we find out the real problem embedded in the sugar coated problem statement that we are being given with? That this was
Hmm.
a problem statement, but we dug deep, we found that is what we in academia, this is what we call narrowing a research problem, a research
I
domain.
Yeah, I can actually what Arpan sir said in the beginning with respect to the hackathon part. That is pretty much collating here with your pointers, right? So if you want to complete it, you can continue. I have some other pointers as well. As in,
Sure, but
sure.
just I would
So,
like to just conclude by saying that
mhm,
we need, look, a basic engineering student like me, I'm also an engineering student, I'm a student of my subject, still I'm in academy, I'm a teacher, doesn't mean that I've stopped studying. So I'm a student of my own subject, so whatever problem comes up to me, I look at it to solve as if that the solution needs to be put for the person who is being affected directly or indirectly.
mm,
That's
pretty good
the
pointer.
perspective. Yeah, that's the perspective any student like me needs to do.
Mhm. So following on the same, thank you, sir. Following on the same format, there was a pointer multiple pointers, and if I'm going to conclude all the pointers, those pointers conclude to one thing: the short time period provided to the hackathon and the time period required for a creativity on a solution. These two things might hinder out, right? So how a student or how a participant can collate the creativity required and the timing part required in a hackathon to map to each other. So this is what the question is coming up as per the discussion. So with this, I would like to go with Arpan sir once again, if he would like to provide some pointers on this.
Sure. So I hope everyone has watched or maybe seen that scene of Kota Factory, wherein Jitu Bhaiya very clearly says, have you studied the exam? So
Hmm.
each hackathon, obviously, there are certain common points, but then you have to study the hackathon as well and try to understand what are they focusing on. For example, we've been all discussing around different aspects of functionality, how good it looks, how innovative it should be, and this also adding from my personal journey. There were two parts to it. Uh, Beyond the presentation and everything, there were two parts to the solution. One was the obvious solution that everyone probably would have built. I need to, let us say, build an application that tracks attendance of teachers, or I need to build an application that tracks the crime rate reporting in a particular state. So basic cheese would always be there, maybe a mobile app, an IoT device, and then a database, then a dashboard, and all of those things. What is it that you can do beyond that, which basically shows your innovation? It could be any small thing, big thing, which probably other teams might not have thought of. And obviously, that is not the goal, that you do something जो कि कोई और नहीं सोच पाए. It is about, coming up with the best solution. So, for example, in the Shikshak Arohan, what we did was, as an addition, and the whole team got a standing ovation from the ministry, was that we mapped it with, there are a lot of B.Ed colleges, government and private, out of which teachers or probable teachers who get a degree, B.Ed and M.Ed, are unemployed. And then there are a lot of schools in these rural areas which need teachers, and there is no mapping. We created a dashboard which basically clearly mapped, okay, these set of colleges in this region have a lot of teachers available, and these set of colleges or schools basically need teachers in these subjects. So probably this teacher can be placed there instead of transferring someone from somewhere. Now, this had no relation to the problem that we were solving. We were only solving
Hmm.
the attendance problem, right? But if you look at it holistically, it was availability of teachers, which were scarce. So
Hmm.
that is something that we were able to add on. So when I'm saying this, why I'm sharing this example is, it is a whole journey. What the core problem says, then how are you able to look at it in a more holistic manner, as we call it, probably a helicopter view or a bird's eye view, eagle's eye view, something on those lines. And then obviously your presentation and the way the application looks matters more so today, because creating a good UI is easier than ever, right? You can pick up a theme, you can tell AI to just clone it, and if it doesn't look good and everyone else's is less functional but looks good, the judge is looking at it for the first time. And I'm not talking about the mentors. The mentor might take you to the final round because of the highest marks, but the judge might be seeing your presentation for the first time, and that is where your presentation matters. We practiced tens of times that we finish exactly within 10 seconds of the 5 minute or the 3 minute mark that we had. So you need to practice, even if you are giving a demo or using slides or whatever. It is very important, the whole aspect of it. I hope I didn't divulge away too much from the
No,
question,
no,
but
no, no,
yes.
no. It's pretty good actually. We need this all informations. And coming up next is Naman sir. Once again to you. With respect to the pointers which Arpan sir provided, what we want you to add on, as well as if you want, uh, you can provide more pointers on the timing part as well once again. Thank you, Arpan sir. Naman sir,
For
to you.
sure, great points presented by Aditya sir and Anpa sir. Uh, I like to add one more thing to which Aditya sir mentioned. There was a thing where sir mentioned building the thing from the perspective of the end user. So it's very important, when you put yourself in the shoes of the end user, and you are not just building need to create this application and I just need five things, and this should include these particular pointers. Like AI is a must thing for me. And when we think about end user, if I'll talk about myself, I'm going to a web page. I'll not stick around when a bar is loading for more than 2 seconds, if I'm talking about that. So when we are talking about that sense, it's definitely very much important when we are talking about end user perspective, for sure. And that we said we need to make things more unique in that time frame. Other teams are building, we are going through a simple jargons. I have provided you AI. Suppose if I'm using an
Hmm.
AI tool, build me a complete application or clone this thing, which
Sir,
Arpan sir said.
sorry to interrupt for the flow. As you are the Docker captain, right?
Hmm.
As
Yeah.
we are very much, glad you are here. Can you drive that particular backend part of the Docker and analogy with the AI part which you are stating, so that student can also understand on a broader way. We are differentiating with the vibe coding. We are differentiating with the AI part.
Right. So, if I'll talk specifically about Docker, Docker is a tool with when the students, or basically, I would say any one who is completing their degree and stepping into the organization or tech environment for the first time, they'll get to know about this tool, very famous when we are trying to ship one application from my system and we are trying to solve the problem this thing works on my system only. When we are talking we need to build this thing for the whole community, Docker plays a very important role. You'll be creating a complete bundle of your application, having all the requirements, having all the necessary things around that, and then that particular bundle will be used by everyone in their different environments, different cloud environments. That's a totally different thing when we are talking about in the terms of DevOps or developer operations. And when we are talking about segregating things on the basis of uniqueness and how we can use AI for that, everyone, if I'll talk about something related to an attendance system,
Hmm.
which we are talking heavily around here, and an attendance system and providing a facial recognition around it. Yes, I can definitely do that, and that's a very I would say tech savvy thing which we can come up with facial recognition with attendance system. And everyone is building that thing, will be building that thing. But what I can do add on, I can provide authentication to that. like Different type of authentication methods are there, OAuth, OAuth 2.0. If I can integrate that thing, or just if I can talk about that thing when I'm presenting that thing, that will give me a better, I would say, edge, and a uniqueness in a limited time frame. Not just
Hmm.
completely building a complete component around it, just
Hmm.
providing a slight touch or pinch of salt, if we can say. Yes, this I am using an OAuth 2.0, or using a Google authentication system here to basically authenticate the students.
Hmm.
So this will give you a different direction. Everyone is seeing that meme particular related to that penguin, penguin is moving into a
Yeah, correct.
different direction.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe
Why?
this will provide you a different edge. Yeah.
Yes, the why situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naman sir. So coming up next, Arpit sir. Coming on the same flow. Sorry, Akshat sir. Coming on the same flow. Uh, what Naman sir has provided with respect to the tech stack and with respect to the analogy with the AI and how things are getting clubbed. Could you provide your pointers on this? How the SCH and how the student should cope up with that particular format, as he has provided a particular set of information also, which are authentication and multiple flows. uh, as you have the open source information as well, so we want you to indulge that information such a way so that students can also understand in a broader direction from your point of view. Akshat sir,
Yeah,
I hope
I
I was
think
clear, by the way. I am not taking taking
yeah,
more. Yeah.
yeah, no, yes. I think thinking about the time constraint, right? We should not we don't need to think about reinventing the wheel every time.
Hmm.
If we know, okay, there's a very basic functionality or tools out there which can help us get the let's say starter guide or something, right? And we just majorly focus on the business value we want to add. So let's say there's authentication. You know, there's some starter kit or some online open source tool which does the same thing. So use that tool as is, and then add the business value, or let's say the unique feature which will shine out, or we can probably think of some unique selling point where let's say what's the basic problem, like what's the main problem we are trying to solve, and just leave the rest out of the picture, and focus the maximum value out of it.
Sure. So the maximum value out of it pointer with respect to the whole flow, if we club it out, and if we say to taking out the maximum value, so what the student or the participant should think about in a particular format, what is the maximum output, as in his or her learning growth, or the problem statement format, as in they might think in both ways, back and forth, right?
Yeah, if you think about learning you will do while building stuff, but the main idea is you're understanding that whole problem statement in a way. Okay, can this be a startup, right? Can I grow this into a real product? Will this actually solve the problem which is aimed at, right? Let's say like Arpan said, I don't know, we are building something for the rural world, but we don't know what's the main issue, right? So if we do not know the main issue about the user or the main problem they are facing, we can never get the maximum business value out of it. Scales, we will just, while building, doing the research, we understand, okay, this is, we are lacking, let's say, a skill set for technological growth. We do research, the practices we follow. But as a probably hackathon is very time limited, you won't be thinking too much of, let's say, coding practices as such, right? You want a workable solution, let's say a POC, where you can actually get inputs, right? So you have the very basic, rough project or rough product out there, so
Mhm.
that you can get feedbacks out of it.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Coming up next,
Mm.
Vanshika ma'am, can you please add your pointers on this one as well?
Uh, Definitely, like your POC hackathon is only about building a small part of your project. Uh, Adding to your question, that how you manage the productivity, or not, sorry, the creativity and
Hmm.
the time constraints, right? That's
Yeah,
the question.
yeah. The main question was that you can add on with the whole conversation also, as
Yeah.
per your flow. Hmm.
So the creativity and the time constraints, as I repeated, like as I said, before going to that hackathon, your pre-study always works for you in every situation, in every time of work, whatever you are going to do. A pre-study always helps during that event or during that hackathon. If you already analyze this hackathon is, if you don't have the problem statements, suppose in a hackathon there are the two types of hackathon, in which the problem statement given earlier, second type of hackathon in which the sudden at a moment you will get the problem statement, right? But what type of problem statement you are going to get in that hackathon, you can also analyze or get to know if you analyze that hackathon by last events of that hackathon organizing team. Also, the domain they are picking up, they usually use that while during the social media when they are promoting that thing, they you mentioning about that domain only, doing the things only. So do that pre-study. If you do that pre-study, that would become helpful to you understanding, okay, this creativity, this might be idea can be presented and can be matched to that problem statement that they're going to give. And how you manage your time and your creativity can be helpful there. Your time can be managed there as well. So yeah, pre-study always helpful in that thing.
Yeah, as Aditya sir is also adding in the same flow, it's the most significant part of the pre-study, as quoted by Vanshika ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, coming up next is a particular question, which might be totally different with our ongoing conversation. I'm just posting it here. It's from the YouTube live stream. They're asking how can we keep ourselves motivated when we get rejected in the hackathons, but the idea and the vision behind the project is real, as a student or as a participant. So, what are your points on this one?
My point on this one is like everyone cannot relate with your idea, right? Maybe the judges and the mentors in that hackathon is looking for something else because their domain is something else, right? So don't feel that your idea, if you are confident about your idea, you have, yeah, you need to take their input seriously because they have done something. So you need to take the inputs there seriously, but just go with another hackathon or another other industrial people or these some people that have the knowledge, relate their inputs with their inputs as well, comparison, right? Make your try hit and trial same. Your idea should be presented too much with the pupils. Don't think this idea can be copy pasted. Already that idea already exists anyway. Whatever you have think right now is already existing. We don't, no, we are not using in that, we don't have that much capacity for now that we are thinking very uniquely. This is what is it, it already exists. So don't think so that your idea is copy pasted somewhere else. Discuss your idea. How much you discuss, you will get the confidence, you will get the inputs, and you can improve that one as well. Maybe your idea is good, but it needs the potential, it needs the improvements, right? So don't hesitate in discussing that one with, apart from hackathon or apart from, if you 10 people is saying, out of the 10 people, if two people is saying this idea has potential, discuss with other two people as well, that is this real, maybe. So after the discussion you get the conclusion that this project is real or not, and you should be motivated, and you should be, now don't if this idea is not useful, think about the next one. This is your learning phase, this is not your the final phase that we should be demotivated, right? This is your learning phase. These things will be helpful in your learning only. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
Ashutosh Bhaiya. So,
Mm,
just
who
want
is it?
to continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keshwendra. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Good evening, panel members. My name is Keshwendra. I am the chairperson of AB System Student Chapter. Till now, like a lot of thing I have heard from you guys, and like it's just like enlightening my mind throughout, and I am getting question and question in my mind. Just want to continue on this, like as Aditya sir told that hackathon is like hack plus something like marathon. So you have to hack into a problem, have to work on this, and in such a way that you get the solution most perfectly and most precisely, such that you can win that marathon. So in terms of in the perspective of a student, if like I am a final year student and I want to work on a project, or I want to start my own startup. So whenever I'm going to search for a problem, so I just want to ask from here, if I start from very scratch, and if I want just like I'm in final year and my mind always go through like, oh, chalo, let's start a startup, let's work on a problem statement, let's make up application or something so that we can solve a problem. I just want to ask all of the panel members how to approach a problem, how to find a problem statement on which I can work on, so that I can get more and more users. I can solve a particular problem to find a particular solution of that. And I want to ask this question. Start from my friend and one of our panel member, Shashwat Kumar Shashwat. Uh, Shashwat, are you there? Shashwat. Okay. Okay. No issue. Okay. Can anyone please go through from there?
Let me take this up, Keshav. Thank you very much for your question. By the way, Keshav, wait. Can you articulate the question once again in the chat also in one liner so everyone is on the same page, please? That would be helpful for me also, and Vanchika ma'am also, and everyone here. By the way, coming up on the same flow as what Keshav was saying, like how they can redefine the question or how they can understand the question is correct. And as a fourth year student, he's asking the question how to approach a problem, basically. So for this one, I would like to start again with Vanchika ma'am only you. If you could provide your, vision on this question, how to approach a problem. And see, he was a fourth year student, so I guess he might have multiple scenarios going on in his mind. So that's why he might have asked in such a way. So please now.
So how to approach a problem? Firstly, your motive should be clear first. What's your motive? I think as a fourth year student, your motive should be that to learn the things faster, right? How to learn the things. Then think that if this learning, the problem is can be small problem and can be large problem. You don't need to think that I need to work on firstly user base, user lending. Don't do this. Don't go in that direction, because firstly getting that all these things you will be needing the experience. Okay, so firstly think about how to build that thing, right? You need to firstly finalize whatever you are learning, whatever tech stack you are having, just start with that one. Don't think it can be in waste idea, it can be in small. Every idea while building the things give a learning to you, right? So firstly go with the problem, whatever problem you have chosen or whatever thing you have chosen, just go start building it, give it a initiative. Might be you feel that after doing that thing, the thing I have done can be done in a more better way. It can be in tech stack finalization, it can be in writing the code, it can be getting the people landed, not people landed, we are not focusing on that thing, but the tech stack's choosing it. So do it again, do with the starting that no, this way I can go with. So in this way what happens, you have the learning of the first tech stack, now you have the learning of a second tech stack as well. Okay, so
Mm.
go with that thing. Don't focus. People usually are the fourth student confused. I need to go on a front end. I need to go on a back end. I need to go first on the infrastructure. Start with first thing. Go with the back end first if you want. You have the knowledge of the back end first, so go with the back end first. If you have the knowledge of the front end first, so go with the front end first. Because at a first step, you should also have the motivation, right? Because at a first step, if you feel that I am not able to build this, and then you will left out with that thing. So start with that thing that you know, so that you have seen that I have already built this, and so I can do the next part as well. I can do the learning, and then I can do the next part as well. So start with that thing that you know, so that you have the confidence on you as well, and you can go with the second part of the learning simultaneously. So that can be helpful for you while solving a problem.
Sure, ma'am. So, well, that particular part, they should not, reconsider themselves with this and that flow. They should have a aptitude to understand, to learn, basically, as a fourth year student, ultimately, right? So with the same flow, with the same pattern, I would like to go to Aditya sir. Aditya sir, if you want to provide some pointers on this one. And actually, with this coming up questions, as these questions are articulating the main ideology of this call from one perspective to another, jumping it here and there. I just want to, now from here on, I want to articulate all the messages and all the questions with respect to our SCH coming up hackathon, as we have a power panel also, which our third year students have designed as quoting one of the quotations from Arpan sir, Akshat sir, and Naman sir. What they were, how the students should approach to a authentication system, how the authentication system works, how the main problem is there. So we were also facing these kind of problems. So we have also, made a power panel where the judges and the participants and everyone will join it, and they will have an understanding which is what. I will provide you more details after coming up with this question. To you, Aditya sir.
So just like to most of the points that are made, what I wanted, I had in my mind were already made by other panel members, and hats off to them as if they are reading my mind continuously. But the most important thing that Vanchika ma'am mentioned, that if you love front end, go with the front end. If you love back end, go with the back end. But for me, I'm more inclined towards the ground problems. Like when Keshwendra, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, he is
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
that what an engineering student coming in the fourth year or maybe coming into the first year, that oh wow, coming into the college from the school environment, and lo, we'll do this in college, we'll do that in college, but later on in the second year they come to know that okay, this is our prime domain, we are in CSE AML, or we are in electronics engineering, or we are in ELC department, we have to now focus on our core problems. Now the deal comes that whether you are coming from a place or you have your problem statements being handed to you, or some of the problem statements that are suddenly put it out in front of you, first understand, it's just like that when any question comes in a question paper, you try to first decode that question, and the answer stays in the question as well. If you read it carefully, there's a saying, read between the lines. You must read between the lines. Similarly, for any startup idea you would like to start, all right. If you want to start any solution, that okay, I've created a solution. Let any company buy the solution from me, and I can get the money out of it. That's the whole.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
students are all motivated by money. That's all they think
Everyone is,
about.
sir. Everyone is, sir.
Yeah, yes, everyone. That's a major factor as well. But
Yeah.
very few are motivated to see the faces of the people who are directly affected. The faces must be happy, contented. Very few people are there, and only those people make actual differences. Others make money, and these people make differences. So our hackathons, our marathons of hacks must be focused towards making a difference, making a dent in a stereotypical thing, or a stereotypical system can be changed a little bit, because as nature is ever changing, we our bodies are changing when we grow up, our
Hmm.
mentalities are being changes as we grow up, so
Hmm.
everything needs a change. So that is the prime objective. That should be the prime objective of every hackathon, whether you are giving the problem statement early or suddenly. That's all I can say. I can conclude with that.
Yeah.
Or if
Thank
you have
you.
any follow-up questions, then I can answer that as well.
Well, with the following up part, actually, what the intent of the call was, thank you, sir, by the way, what the intent of the call was, how the SAH is differentiating in between the DSA part and DSA versus the development part, how things are going to be clubbed there, and how we want the engineering students or whosoever is going to be the participant to understand that DSA concept and implement in the development part in such a way that there is a uniqueness in their solution which they are providing, which Naman sir also quoted out, how authentication systems are quoted out there. And again, Arpan sir's IPS information, the story which he was stating there, and how Vanchika ma'am has articulated the answers. So these all things are clubbed out in a particular chain order, which Steve Jobs has also told us, follow the chain, you know. So to conclude this out, I would like to, ask, uh, where is this guy? Kunal. Kunal is on the call, I guess. Uh, okay, I cannot. Okay, let me present it. Okay, can you
Hi, Steve.
present the panel? Can you present the panel, Kunal? Anyhow, yeah, sure. Yeah, so let me, provide you the context behind the panel part. So in every hackathon, there are judges, there are members, there are participants, and there are administrators who are going to facilitate the hackathon. So a basic ideology which goes around is we will make multiple WhatsApp groups or multiple, mails to each and every member via the administration group. So this will create a chaos, and this actually creates a chaos somehow. If someone is missing out, the judges number are not correct, who the judge was for which panel, who the judge was for which team, multiple scenarios might come up there. So what was the solution? We had a virtual machine. We took it out, and we placed our particular website as well as our panel website on that machine, hosted over you know Azure, and utilized the different flow from backend utilizing NeoDB and AWS. AWS S3 bucket is also utilized here for mail chaining system and part. So these all scenarios, this was the ultimate, challenge which we were thinking which will come up to us while organizing the hackathon on the very first day. So this is the solution which the guy Kunal himself has drive this out. Kunal, I would like to take this up from here and go with the dashboard part first of all and show us. Yeah, please go on. Please go. Sure. Kunal, just be on the screen. Thank you very much. Be on the screen. Be on the screen. I mean, go to the analytics part once, please. And with this panelist, everyone, uh, what we want you from now is what we want your views on this particular solution to a particular problem which we have iterated through, and your information and your feedback. Actually, your feedback on this flow. What are your suggestions? Uh, Starting with Arpan sir. Arpan sir, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah. Sir, so
Okay.
do you want to repeat him or or is it fine? Like we want your feedback on this particular problem and the
Hmm.
solution which Kunal has gone through and made
Hmm.
here. He was a bit technical,
Okay.
but the main
Hmm.
ideology was we want to flush out that old flow of using WhatsApp
Hmm.
chat and Excel sheets to maintain
Hmm.
everything. We want a power panel which can be utilized and
Hmm.
can be utilized by everyone, either a judge, either a panelist, either a participant, and ultimately the mentors also who are going to utilize it
Hmm.
for their teams. So this is the flow he had come up with multiple tech stacks. So we want
Hmm.
your
Hmm.
feedback
Sure.
by screen, like looking on it, like how what are the changes we can do, or what are the
Hmm.
few iterations we can go on with. Please, sir.
Sure. Sure. Great, great. Thank you for displaying this, and excited that you are solving this problem, because recently at my company Communal also we've built the hackathon platform to be completely paperless experience, and there's a lot of common points which are there. So there is just one thought around it, and because we've also gone through the same iteration, having participated, having been a mentor, judge, a lot of roles, and a volunteer at both offline, online, and hybrid hackathons. Um, a lot of times we feel that we want to probably build something wherein we will optimize this flow, but thinking from the other perspective is also important. Is my user going to be comfortable with it? For
Yep.
example, if your goal is to get the updates fastest to your mentors, judges, and your students or the participants, um, email is one thing, your dashboard is another thing, and WhatsApp is another thing. Now, if I were to rank in terms of priority, which platform will they be the most easiest and comfortable to be using it, and my goal will be fulfilled the fastest? I suppose
Mm,
that would be WhatsApp, because they'll receive the updates the fastest. You don't
mm,
want to be, arguing with the judges, mentors, and participants that आपने dashboard खोल के नहीं देखा, हमने तो updates भेजी थी. Correct? And we
sure, sir.
faced this. I've
Mm-hmm.
gone through that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not discouraging at any point of time. I'm just sharing, a view
Yeah, sure,
that
sure, sir.
you
Mm-hmm.
might want to think around what is the exact part that you want to move away from any other place like WhatsApp or email or any other integration to your dashboard, which is something that probably even if the updates are not immediate, they are fine with it. Another thing could be, um, you could also look at, because the dashboard has everything, you are also allowing judges to see the teams, you are allowing people to put marks, and probably in future you could get a leaderboard as well. Another part would be that, one, educating the judges, people like me, a lot more on what is the marking criteria in terms of not just looking at how innovative is the project, how much code base is good, all these five things that you've written. But what happens is the marking still goes standard. मुझे क्या अच्छा लगा? It obviously has to go by that. But
Mm.
can it be more streamlined, or you can say क्या उसका ज़्यादा robotic version can be created, so that there are certain points which are from the judge's personal inclination, but there are certain common points on which all the teams can be evaluated very fairly and commonly. And it needs some sort of ideology built up into the judges. Probably the dashboard can give that while people are putting up marks online. And finally, just to close in on the last point is, um, how will you, and this is a question, more of a question. In a lot of hackathons, we do not display the leaderboard, which team is at the top, because when I'm looking at a lot of teams' presentations as a mentor or as a judge, the marks keep on tending to change. First team, let us say I find them amazing, I give them 10 out of 10. But if the next team comes up and gives a better presentation or a better solution on the same problem, I might want to move uh, the first team from 10 to 9 probably, and keep the new team at a higher set of scores. So how will
Hmm.
you solve the problem of because from the team side, I want to see where do I stand. मेरे
Hmm.
marks किससे कम है किससे ज़्यादा है, and no one displays that. And it is perfectly logical to not do that, but the teams want to see that. So how will you solve that is a question that I might want to leave with. Uh-huh. Mhm. So recently I saw a hackathon that was happening in a university in US. There they had a live leaderboard, and one of the teammates had put up a screenshot. We were team one for 60 seconds. So that excited me to see whether this problem can be solved. Can this be created? So that is why I'm just putting it up. And I completely agree with the fact that, not displaying is, you can say, operationally better to do. But can that be changed? Just like
Sure,
you are
sir.
bringing from WhatsApp to this,
Hmm.
just sharing my,
No, no,
just insights.
totally,
Yeah.
totally agreeing with you. Actually, thank you very much. These were pretty important, actually. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
And actually, to all the panelists, as I can say, the time is ticking, and we have quite, not more than 15 or 20 minutes. But going up next, we need more fruitful insights from Akshat sir, Naman sir, and Vanshika ma'am once again. So, Akshat sir, could you please provide your insights as well?
Yeah, I think a website is a good idea, but I feel a lot of people, have a lot of things on phone. So they just, I think WhatsApp is the easiest way. I also prefer a lot of, email notification or some, calendar invites,
Hmm.
because you can't every time log into a portal, go to, let's say open your laptop, see the portal, go to the website,
Hmm.
and sometimes you miss the notification. Right? No one will get a notification if you're not logged in, right?
Hmm.
Let's say you have that, you won't get the notification. So I miss a lot of this, which does not send a notification. So website is good if you have a very dedicated time, as a whole, right? Let's say you have a dedicated time, be there for an hour or two. But then after that, people are just, let's say doing something on other phone, laptop, but not on the system. But so they don't get the notification.
Hmm.
So I think I would prefer, let's say someone gets like some things updated and which needs to be highlighted to judges or mentors, get them as notification. Let's say WhatsApp notification, some bot or some email notification, which helps them get the, oh, something has happened. Go have a look.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Coming up next, Naman sir, your pointers. By the way, Kunal, can you go to the panel website once again?
For sure, man. Like the dashboard looks amazing, and the only thing which I wanted to like highlight, and when we are talking about a platform where everyone will be a part of, or the hierarchy, basically the hierarchy will be the part of, we need to talk about the different set of views, like what will be like visible to which particular I would say group of people, or the hierarchy of people. Like if I'm talking about like mentors or specifically the judges, like I need to have a little bit of layer between what things will be visible to judges and what things will be visible to the
Hmm.
students or
Hmm.
basically the participants. So
Hmm.
different set of views, like different, and you need to have
Naman
like a
sir,
different. Yep.
Naman sir, sorry to interrupt. I just got pinged about Urban sir. Urban sir, uh, thank you for joining. If you want to leave,
Yeah.
uh, with
Uh,
some
yeah,
words or
thank you for
something.
having me.
Thanks a
I
lot.
I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but yes, just have to rush out
Yeah, yeah.
for something other related to things. So yes, thank you so much for having me in, and please continue. I'll see you on the final day of the hackathon and in between probably with the teams. Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks a
much,
lot, sir.
everyone. Thank
Thank
you
you for
so
your
much.
vision.
Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Naman sir, please continue. Thank you for
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah, no worries, man. Totally. And so what I was saying, like we need to have like a different set of views, like different set of
Oh,
dashboard for
Akshat
everyone.
sir also. Thank you, everyone. Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
guess he has gone. Okay.
Okay. So the thing was like having different views. Like you need to cater everything. Like when you are talking about the complete hierarchy in a single, I would say, point of contact. This application will be a point of contact for everyone. So you need to maintain different dashboard views for everyone. Judges will be seeing different things. Participants will be seeing different things. And as you said, like we need to maintain some authorizations as well. Like how we are going to authorize a set of judges, like they can have the complete view of the things, and how we are going to restrict the users not to go there. So I'm saying like things are working fine and things look pretty good, but the thing which I wanted to highlight is you need to maintain that thing and to basically get everything out of there. And suppose like if I'll tell you a real world example, like if a working solution like who is like trying to flourish into the environment, and they are trying to gather the user base, and suppose they conducted a online, I would say, event, and if a particular user is not trying to log into it, if they are facing any kind of difficulty, how they are going to reach out to you? For sure you will be creating a group for that, WhatsApp group, and we are also going to be the part of that. And suppose we are facing any kind of difficulty, we'll be like logging our things into that group. So it's better like when we are talking about initial phases, it's better like we can like move with a more standard or like traditional set of things where we can like get the pushes, notification pushes there. So as everyone said, like the dashboard looks good. Maybe like we need some more iterations to basically provide the different set of views and how we are basically segregating things. Like do we need a lambda function for this, or do we need authorization system for
Hmm.
this? Different scenarios which we can use. And for sure like as the mentors previously said, like we can like move for WhatsApp pushes, which can be very really handy right now. Like if we talk about the time constraints, so this can be like a very fruitful thing, and like we can build this thing and provide some updates there. And when we know like yes, we have like tested the load testing, we have testing the load balancing, and everything works fine, we can like push, yes, let's use this thing.
Hmm.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The pointer to the Lambda function and the connectivity to that particular part that really clicked the format actually. Thanks for the flow. Coming up next, Vanshika ma'am, we need your pointers to on the same flow and the same part.
Uh, Definitely agree with like everyone's point of view. There should be like for yeah, when I'm going to hackathon, I don't might have the every time access of going to the online panel, website panel. It would be better if we can have something on the phone. One workaround, what you guys can do, you can guys have a small Chrome type of extension in which you can convert your application into a small icon of the on your WhatsApp in the app format, not on a WhatsApp, not on your phone screen, that your website can be shown as a app on your phone icon,
Hmm.
like on your phone wallpaper. That
Yes,
one thing.
that also makes a difference. Yes. Hmm.
One thing you can do, you need to handle the cases, you need to test the things out first, because you are saying that you have the 800 pupils at the same time on your website or on your hackathon. This is only attendee account, but you can have the multiples, your teams, panelists, judges, as well other teams, other peoples as well. So might it go the 1500 to 200 people? So how much it is efficiently going on, working on it. You guys need to firstly test out that thing as well before making it available to everyone. Because if it doesn't work for them, they directly go and come with you. They don't ask anything to you and they don't care about this thing because they need to work on it. They will directly say to you that, okay,
Hmm.
this is the workaround, go with that thing. So if you want to fully furnished use that thing, first you test out internally within your college or within anything else, but test it out of first things. uh, Go with like ready for the failures as well, like if any of the error come while doing the things, how you manage the thing. If any of the API gets fail, if any feature get blocked out, how you will going to help them. That should be in your hand or in your head. Every team member should have knowledge about it, not on a single person. Every person should have the knowledge about that thing in the team, who is going to be there, who is going, a whole team should have the idea, because dependency should not be aligned on a one person. it should be there with everyone. So yeah, that's pointers can be.
Well, that's a very important point actually. Thank you, ma'am. With this particular flow, actually, Kunal will note it down everything and our team also. But coming up next is like not last, not the least scenario. Aditya sir, sir, we need your pointers too here with respect to the flow and what are your things, thinking about this particular dashboard.
Can you sum up the flow, please, for me?
Some of the flow as in the requirement of the dashboard or what the flow was going
Yeah,
on.
required of the dashboard. I can say that, very well mentioned by Vanchika ma'am, that no need to put the dashboard here. And the starting point was that was made by Arpan sir, that he wanted the leaderboard should be displayed. Ah,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I want to go to that original point that he made. He has a suggestion. So, and he quoted the example of the American university, that they had their thing. Look, Indians are different from other uh, civilizations. All right, we as a
Hmm.
race are different from other Caucasian or Mongol or the other races. So what we try to do, like, if you look at the history of what we have been through, so we have an habit of, we are a very good individuals, we are very great at being individuals, but we lack the team spirit. And when it comes, the marks are shown or some pointers are shown, sudden envious points come up in the back of the head, whether we uh, accept it or not, it still does. And maybe not at the start of the team building or something, it may come up somewhere down the line as well. So that's why we do not show any kind of leaderboard, because as a student, I do not like being marked upon. Marks
Hmm.
do not reflect your potential. The one who is having lower marks has greater potential, because there are several factors affecting the marks. The person or the student might not be having those equity or equitable resources that a person from coming from tier 1 may have, from and from tier 2 or tier 3, or for slow town image, small town people, but they might not have those privileges that the tier 1 people might be having already. They had the head start. So for me, the marks do not reflect, but the end product and the service to the end user. Because when you publish that product, or if you go into the manufacturing area,
Hmm.
you write an end user license agreement, EULA. All of you guys played games, various games, right?
Hmm.
And every game folder you open up, there's an EULA folder as well, in English, in Spanish, and other languages. So this is end user's license agreement. So I'm talking about end user, the actual stakeholder in any startup, any problem statement. The startup solves the problem now. Like, either you're providing the goods or you're providing the services by solving the problem. That's the thing. So this is what I need. That we do not need a leaderboard. Leaderboard. All of us are leaders, man. All of us are going. Let's be the community leader, collective leader. Let's do,
Hmm.
bring all of us fingers and fist, make a fist out of it, and then move on. Let's all move with the fist, and okay, we all be leaders in our own domains. Let's do that. Let's work upon that. Let's channelize all our leadership. We all are leaders. We don't need any leaderboard or something. We, the real leader, the real motivator is the end user that motivated students like us to present or to serve them beneficially. What the society gave us, we are giving back to society in a more productive and constructive way.
That was pretty good, sir. Actually, I was also motivated with the pointer you were stating for the leaderboard. Thanks a lot, sir. And thank you everyone for taking your time here. I would like to tone down here and would like to host back even to our members, Pranav and Himanshu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I hope I was able to collate with the information with everyone on the panel.
Thank you very much for the wonderful session. As we come to the end of this insightful discussion, we would like to thank our moderator, Ashutosh Jha sir, for guiding the conversation so thoroughly and harmonically, which brought us many meaningful perspectives.
We would also like to express our heartfelt gratitude to all our panel members for sharing their experiences, insights, and honest perspectives on what truly makes engineering problems and solutions serious. Your input on problem framing, constraints, algorithmic reasoning, system design, and evaluation have given our audience a much clearer understanding of how real world engineering is approached across the ecosystem.
For our student part of it, we hope today's discussion encourage you to rethink your problems that you have chosen, your design solution, and how you justify your engineering decisions. Serious engineering is not just about building more features, it's about building better features with clarity and depth.
We strongly encourage you to reflect on today's discussion as you continue working on your SH 2.0 projects and apply these learnings throughout the hackathon journey.
Once again, we extend our sincere thanks to all our panel members and our moderator for taking time out of your schedule for us.
Thank you all participants for joining us live and engaging with the session. With this, we formally conclude today's panel discussion. We wish you all the very best for SH 2.0. And in case I don't see you again, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
The recording is still